Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 96.5 thechill.com.
Perry Stampa here, owner of Central Illinois Truck Service, just off I-70 in Greenville. Let us repair your diesel engines with state-of-the-art equipment, a brand new facility, and certified technicians. Find out more by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back to school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-824-1134 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-824-1134. SIU Medicine. Forward for you.
WTIM. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and wrapping things up today, we have Steve Dennis, a board member of the Lincoln Prairie Trail Conservancy. Steve, good to have you back in.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it's good to talk to you. I know we were talking a little bit ago. I saw you at the 4th of July parade. You had your truck going through there, and then I think I saw you afterwards as well. And just walked by, and I thought, I think that might have been Steve Dennis. So I'll have to mention that to him when he's on, which of course I just did. So yeah, a lot going on right now with the Lincoln Prairie Trail Conservancy, with the trail itself. First, just give our listeners a reminder of kind of an overview of what you folks at the Conservancy do.
So we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to repair, maintain, promote, enhance, and expand the bike trail from Painted to Taylorville.
Yeah, and I know expanding is a big thing that's going on, and everything else as well. And we're going to talk about all of that as we go about the show today. So in terms of the enhancements, I remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, you folks went before the Taylorville City Council or one of their committees to talk about some modifications to be made in Taylorville. Part of it was a crosswalk study. Tell our listeners about that.
Right. So the crosswalk study was approved by the Taylorville City Council. And so what we've done is Benton Engineering will be doing a site study at the Lake Taylorville entrance. What we're looking to do is to have an ADA compliant crosswalk from the Veterans Memorial parking lot over to the trail.
Okay.
We're expecting to get that result before too long, and then what we'll do is we'll have options on where is the best place to site that crosswalk. At that point, then we'll go back to the get the plans drawn up, present that to the city, and we'll be looking at raising funds so that we can get that implemented for everyone.
Okay, and then that crosswalk, because I've been to that Veterans Memorial as well. So wait, so we're talking just from the parking lot to the trail, is that correct?
That's correct. Okay. So right now there is a crosswalk painted across the roadway, but you have to cross a ditch and a hill to get to the trail. That's really not feasible for folks with mobility issues. So that's why we're looking at an ADA, and this is not funded by the city. This is funded by private donations.
Okay. Yeah. So you got you got the private donations for that. And in terms of how this sort of intended project came about, was this something that, like, the donors came to you and wanted to see, or was it something that, you folks established and wanted the donations for? How did that sort of happen?
Well, this has been on our radar for several years. We actually had a community group that put together a survey, and we had a couple hundred people sign the survey, but it takes time, to work through these things. So it's, like I said, it's community based. And then we got involved and was able to work with the city and with Benton Engineering. And hopefully we'll have that study done here within the next couple of weeks. Our goal is to try to have it in place by Veterans Day if possible. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. No, that sounds like a good target. So you're trying to get the crosswalk essentially to take you right over that green patch that's got the ditch in it. Is that
right?
Correct? Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to visualize it, considering I was there just about a week and a half ago. So yeah, you've got that project going on. Safe route through town as well was another thing that was talked about. Tell our listeners about that.
Right. So Benton Engineering had come to the city a year ago and told us that we had missed out on a grant by 1 point, and that bike project components of grant applications can be positively influenced, but no guarantee. So what we were wanting to do is the mayor asked me to look into finding a safe route from Paw Paw Street over to the intersection of Route 29 and 104. And so we had volunteers through LPTC. We drove the streets of Taylorville, coming up with alternatives, and we decided on 2 potential options, which were then had a public hearing or a public meeting where the public looked at the 2 options and made a recommendation to the city. The city then in turn approved that. And so what we're doing is we're using secondary roads from Paw Paw over to 104 and 29. So they call this low volume roads. There is a website with IDOT that lets you know what the average traffic is on the streets of town and other towns as well. So that was used. We also wanted to look at where can we navigate through town and not have to have very much construction. In other words, there's a gap in the sidewalk down off of Schuyler Lane, which is close to Tasty Treat. We'll be pouring some concrete sidewalk to connect to an existing sidewalk. So that was approved. The signs, we got a quote. City Council passed that at the last City Council meeting, I believe. And so now we're working on the installation. This will enable folks to be able to get safely from Paw Paw Street all the way over to the west side of town. And then in future phases, we'll try to connect to other portions of town like the hospital, the schools, and parks. But at least for now, we've got this started.
All right. So you're going from where the trailhead is now at Paw Paw Street all the way to, that intersection where you can drive either, towards Springfield or Pawnee. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
And so what it does is it allows folks to be able to get to healthcare, to restaurants, to grocery stores. And whether you're on a bike or you've got mobility issues and you're in a wheelchair or a scooter or some other item, this helps folks to navigate across town. Not everybody has a car. So this is why we're looking at these safe routes.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say I don't necessarily walk a whole lot kind of in some of those areas, but like I know in some places, right, there aren't necessarily sidewalks or, it's a bit difficult to kind of get from one part of, a certain road to another. So do you believe that this path is going to essentially kind of mitigate those fears all that much?
It is going to mitigate a number of the issues, particularly the one down on Schuyler Lane, which is by Tasty Treat, getting that sidewalk poured, connecting to an existing sidewalk. But e-bikes can't ride on sidewalks, so they need to use streets. So we'll have this for e-bikes, bikes, and other items for folks that aren't using cars. But like I said, this will be the first phase in getting that safe route through town.
All right. So yeah, you got that. And, it sounds like it's through. So yeah. And anything else you want to mention about that before we move on?
No, I think that about takes care of it. But if anybody has any questions, they can contact us. We'll be glad to help answer.
All right. So yeah, safe route through town there. Sounds like there's a new bench on the route or right by the route in Owanaco. Talk about that.
Right. So we've partnered with the various cities and along the trail, and Owanaco, the village board has been very good to work with. We poured a concrete pad and they donated a bench, which they have at this park, which is right there, there in Owanaco. In addition to that bench, there's also a bike fix-it station and a pet waste station. So if you decide you want to come and start at Owanaco and walk towards the lake or towards Millersville, either one, then you've got some facilities there, parking. And like I said, the village has been really great about working with us. And we're hoping to add more items down the line here. But for now, we've got a bench, a bike fix-it station, and the pet waste station. And across the street, there is a rain shelter with picnic tables. So you can also take a break there.
Okay, nice. So some additions there as well. Let's see. Also some sunflowers added over on the Pana side of things. Talk about that.
Right. The Pana, City of Pana gave permission. We've been partnering with Pana and the Master Gardeners of Christian County and the other counties, which I can't ever remember. But anyway, what we did down there is there's a 25 by 250 foot garden spot, and we've been planting native species native to Illinois of flowers. But at the southern end, we've got a sunflower patch. And so what happened there was there are several different species of native Illinois sunflowers, and they have started to bloom. So if you get a chance, get down to Pana and check that out. Check the trailhead. There are over 500 seeds that were planted for this, and you can see it right from the highway. So we want to thank the Master Gardeners for their help with all of this. And we're looking forward to more native plants and more infrastructure being added at the Pana trailhead.
All right, that's really nice. I don't think I've noticed the sunflowers yet, but I can't wait to take a look when I get there at some point in Pana. I'm talking right now with Steve Dennis, a board member with the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about other projects and events going on with the Conservancy. That'll be right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
FD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all higher at this hour. September corn up 6 1/4, 444 3/4. December corn up 6 1/4, 466 3/4. March corn up 5 3/4, 481 1/2. August beans up 311.95 3/4. September beans up 411.85 1/4. November beans 11.95 3/4, up 4 3/4. September Chicago wheat up 27, 672. September KC wheat up 32 3/4, 710 3/4. August bean meal up $1, 318.40. August bean oil down 60 cents, 71.80. Livestock trade August feeders 349.65, up 85 cents. August live cattle down 40 cents, 231.02. July lean hogs up 17 cents, 95.27. Energy markets, September Brent crude oil up 8 cents, 84.81.
Since 1938, Shelby Electric Cooperative has kept the lights on for our members when no one else would. Today, we're making that same commitment by bringing reliable broadband to underserved areas. Just like electricity years ago, fast internet and phone service are essential for quality of life and economic growth. Shelby Fiber delivers future-proof internet straight to your door. Visit shelbyfiber.coop or call 217-774-2323.
If you're like most people, finding extra money for your savings just doesn't happen. Hi, this is Julie Sanchez at People's Bank and Trust, and we have the solution you've been looking for. Sign up for our Save by Spendings Roundup program, and we'll round up your purchases to the next dollar, then transfer that change to your savings account. It's as easy as shop, enjoy, and save. Start saving for the things you really want with our Save by Spending Roundup program. Call 888-PBT-1954 and let us put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
There's still time for Illinois farmers to get in on the Certified Winter Canola Program from Pioneer and Bunge Chevron Agri-Renewables. Plant Pioneer brand winter canola to complement your crop rotations for improved soil health and seamless access to the renewable fuels market. With expert agronomic support and hybrids bred to thrive in Illinois, the Certified Winter Canola Program is good for your farm, for the environment, and for your bottom line. Visit pioneer.com/winter canola to sign up before it's too late.
Hey there, loyal listeners. This is your team at Regional Radio with a quick heads up. Some of the great programming you enjoy throughout the day is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're still bringing you the same local content you love. Our legal team insisted we mention this, and hey, keeping the attorneys happy keeps us on the air. So thanks for tuning in and being part of the Regional Radio family. We're proud to bring local, compelling content to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
WTIM.
And we're back back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. It's sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue my conversation with Steve Dennis, a board member with the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy, a 501c3 nonprofit. And we've been talking about some of the projects they've been working on and planning to work on with the trail. There's one other project I wanted to get to, cherry trees over at Lake Taylorville. We were talking about the crosswalk study earlier. There are now also cherry trees. Talk about that.
Right. So this particular project, this is as you enter the off of 29 to the lake entrance, there were a row of trees. They were ash trees. And unfortunately, 2 or 3 of the trees had died and the others were dying. So partnering again with Master Gardeners, seeking input, we got with the city of Payne and the city of Taylorville, and those trees were taken down. And we had decided the best thing that came up was a recommendation or a suggestion from a veteran who said, what about the cherry tree species like what's at Washington, D.C.? So that was discussed. We looked into that, and this fall we'll be working on installing cherry trees again that are similar to what's in Washington, D.C. One of the things that we're having to wait for right now is the traffic study to be done. Once that's finished and we know where the crosswalk options are, then we'll be able to do the planning for how we're going to go about planting those cherry trees. That'll make a real nice entrance to the lake and also tie in to the Veterans Memorial with Taylorville and the Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and just kind of having that that equivalency, it sounds like, is a big part of it. So that's really cool, and I can't wait to see that when it comes out as well. It sounds like a bike rodeo is coming up. Talk about that and how it was able to be made to happen.
Right. So the city of Taylorville was awarded an Illinois Department of Transportation grant for a bike rodeo. So this is partnering with the Taylorville schools, which will include Memorial, North, and St. Mary's in Vision Way. All the kids will participate, and we'll have approximately 700 kids eligible. Doesn't mean they'll all participate, but it's scaled to benefit all of those kids. So we're waiting on details from the state to finalize the grant, and then we'll work on scheduling it. But some of the things that will be included is there'll be helmet fitting, there'll be educational materials that we can distribute, skills course. We may even have a bike clinic that we can do to check if they bring their bikes to the event. We're in the planning stages with this, but again, we want to thank Illinois Department of Transportation and Benton Engineering in the city of Taylorville and the Taylorville School District for all working together to put this event on.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, the bike rodeo with getting all of them involved and yeah, getting younger folks involved and biking and hopefully doing so on the Lincoln Prairie Trail, as I'm sure you'll agree with. So you've got the bike rodeo, Chili Fest. Sounds like you folks are going to be there too. Talk about that.
Right. So Chili Fest in October, we will have our booth. We'll have pictures. We'll have memorabilia. We'll have T-shirts, giveaways for the kids, different events that we can do. Anything we can do to encourage kids to ride safely and give them access to their parents for educational materials and websites. There's a bike safety quiz. Those are the kind of things that we're doing to try and encourage safe biking, starting them when they're young.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing that with the bike rodeo, it sounds like, and with your presence at Chili Fest as well. About a minute to go, Steve. How can folks stay informed about what's going on with the trail and the Conservancy?
Well, the Conservancy has a Facebook page, and we also have a web page. And our web page has been redesigned. We've got a lot of information out there. Everything we're working on includes a project page so that people can see what projects do we have coming in the pipeline, descriptions, if folks want to make donations or they want to be a volunteer, there'll be buttons to get involved with that. But we have a lot of other information on the web, making connections with resources to other websites like Rails to Trails, Conservancy, Ride Illinois, and other educational pieces.
No, that's great. A lot of great stuff on there and great things going on with the trails and the Conservancy. Steve Dennis, a board member with the Conservancy. Steve, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville.
96.1 FM Taylorville.
107.5 FM Shelbyville.